Land acknowledgements have become commonplace at the beginnings of meetings, events, and even our own newscast. As part of our Indigenous History Month learnings, we sat down with an Indigenous relations consultant to understand their significance and their shortcomings.
These practices existed, what they refer to as since time immemorial, but historically a lot of Indigenous nations use it as a traditional protocol, more specifically around diplomacy.
Michael Etherington says land acknowledgements by their definition must involve the people of the land.
Geographically, think national, but act local and inquire more deeper understanding what the local regional dynamic is with regards to the relationship of Indigenous peoples in your community. You're recognizing a group of people. And when you're recognizing that group, how many of you actually consulted, engaged, and more importantly, how did those groups consent to what you're doing?
Etherington says friendship centers in urban areas and local band councils are appropriate points of contact to gather information for land acknowledgements. The one thing you shouldn't do is turn to the internet.
Yes. I would actually not recommend just Googling. Because I've worked with organizations who just got the information which is not accurate or correct.
He says while land acknowledgements are an important aspect of reconciliation, they are the first step in a long road ahead.
One of the challenges within that today, though, is the symbolic interpretation. So I think an important consideration is that they are a pathway towards the journey of reconciliation. But with that acknowledgement, I think there should be moving towards the meaningful actions within institutions to address structural changes.
He believes the most necessary changes should be implemented in the education system.
If you look at Canadian civics books, residential schools are a page, or etc. So we do need more meaningful educational reform. And so I think, to quote Senator Murray Sinclair, he said, education got us into this mess and education will get us out of that. So I think for everyone involved is that we have to champion that to ensure that it goes into the educational system, K to 12.
Etherington believes change and meaningful growth will come through cooperation. To illustrate his point, he brought with him tamarack geese or nishka, which are an important cultural symbol to the Imushkego Cree in James Bay, where he is from.
Geese are partners for life, and that's a treaty relationship. As long as the sun shines, the grass grows and the rivers flow. Now, if you think about our future generations and what we're trying to share, is that when you see them flying, when they flock, they share responsibility. When you think about our role and responsibility towards reconciliation, it should not be an individual action. We're trying to create a movement, and when you have that aspect of shared responsibility, that's when we'll see a train. And that shared responsibility of this bridge is between Indigenous and non-Indigenous peoples. And so what I want to actually do for just kind of fun thing to close off is doing a call. So I'll show you a goose call where we go from.
For more information on land acknowledgements, you can go to our website citynews.ca. For City News, I'm Dilshad Burman.